What is up, students? We are so glad that you are a part of the studio, season 3.
Yeah.
Man, my name is Mason, and I got...
Hey, I'm Byron.
Guys, I'm the student pastor. You know, I'm Rich Rose. Byron,
Come on, Rich Rose.
Can you just tell us a little bit about who you are?
Yeah, man, I'm super excited to be here. Man, for those who don't know who I am, my name is Byron. I get the privilege of being the worship leader here at our Sugarland campus. And so, yeah, a lot of fun, a lot of singing, a lot of tech. That's what we do.
Mr. Clean.
Hey.
And for any one nights, any student events, that's the guy who's just got the sweet voice, the amazing guitar skills. And when you just up there raising your hands, praying to the Lord, you're just going to hear that buttery voice behind you.
Stop with the glaze, man. Stop with the glaze. No, man, as far as the Mr. Clean thing goes, like, I think I've gotten it all. Like, I think they've called me Mr. Clean. They've called me, like, Gru from Despicable Me. They've called me, I mean, like, you name it. Any character that's bald, I've probably gotten it or gotten the request to dress up as them.
Let's just keep in mind, those are main characters.
Hey, come on.
Like, dude, you're kind of main character, bro.
Yeah, and then you've gotten Jesus. You know, like, that's your iconic, like, icon.
Yeah, white Jesus.
White Jesus.
That's who I am in life. So this is what you got to know about Byron. He doesn't know this, but this may be one of the most cultured individuals you've ever met. Like, he's a foodie. He watches movies from all over the world. Like, he's just kind of like the it guy when it comes to culture.
You know, my thing is, I feel like you gotta taste it all. You gotta try it all, especially when it comes to food. Like, you just gotta experience it. You just gotta be out there and stuff. On the other hand, I feel like you're the opposite. You're like Mr. American Pride guy. You're like, man, give me a burger.
Insert eagle noise. Yeah! So I think that's the perfect way to kick off this podcast. I've got 5 questions for you.
Come on, kick it off.
I'm just going to see how cultured you actually are.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. Number 1. Which of these foods is most likely to betray you with a surprise wasabi kick? These are going to go from easy to hard. Chocolate chip cookies, sushi, cereal, or spaghetti?
For most people, it's probably going to be sushi.
Sushi?
It's an acquired taste, you know.
Yes.
Maybe you might have that raw salmon or whatever in there, so some people might not like that. So that's probably what I'd say.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Correct answer. It is sushi. Got the wasabi. Okay, number 2. In Italy, what should you never ask for if you want to avoid judgment from the locals?
Ooh.
Okay, we've got extra cheese, a fork, pineapple on pizza, or free breadsticks.
Oh, it's going to be pineapple on pizza. Easy.
Ding.
I feel like you'd get slapped. You'd just be like, oh, pineapple? Boom.
It's one of those, like, Italians, it's not that they hate you, it's just they just don't understand American culture.
Yeah, baby.
Now, do you eat pineapple on pizza?
You know, so I feel like I like it. It's not my number one choice, but I can see the appeal because of the sweet, salty kind of like vibe and stuff. But
something a cultured man would say.
Yeah.
Than, are you pineapple on pizza?
Yeah.
He's Canadian. It doesn't count.
Yeah. It is.
He's a maple
Canada.
syrup on pizza and like
Yeah, but then also, did you know you're not supposed to ask for a fork and a knife in Italy as well? When you eat with pizza, apparently they get really offended.
Well, yeah, I get offended in America if you eat pizza with a fork and a knife, and that's what you do. I've seen you.
It's like eating a burger with a fork and a knife. You know, it's like you just don't do that. Yeah.
I do that too.
All
man.
There's a cleanliness factor.
You got 2 for 2. Number 3.
You know, there's people that eat pizza with ketchup.
He's probably. I mean, it's tomato sauce.
Yeah, but that's different though. Ketchup is different than tomato sauce.
It's the poor man's pizza.
I don't do ketchup. Yeah, you're right. That is a poor man's pizza.
I've seen people like get a slice of pizza, drizzle ketchup on it, and then just eat that thing.
Oh, but that's a burger pizza. Have you never had that?
No.
You put mustard and ketchup on it, and then like ground beef. Like you put everything you would put a burger on top of a dough. It's good.
Dude, that doesn't sound good at all. Somebody's got to call this crap out. That sounds horrible.
Don't yum my yum.
I've been branded the cultured guy, but I feel like that's where I'd stop. You know, like I'd just be like, that's food sin right there.
Let's just see if you get this last one right here. Last one. I'm just going to skip to the last one. Which of these cultural traditions involves smashing plates at a wedding because why not? Brazil to ward off bad spirits, Germany to bring good luck, Japan to signal the end of a party, or Ireland to scare away in-laws?
I don't know why. It just gives Irish vibes.
It's Germany.
Yeah.
That just means we need to go there on our next mission trip. That's all that means.
Yep. Let's put it on the docket.
Fun fact, I think, so we just went to Bogota, Colombia.
For those who don't know.
Yes, had a wonderful mission trip during spring break. Was that your first international mission trip, or was that your first time to Bogota?
No, first time to Bogota. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And so Colombia, I mean, phenomenal country. What was your favorite part about the trip?
Man, I really liked the architecture there. It just kind of on like a very surfacey level, the different color buildings, and it symbolized different sections. And they wanted to really make sure that tourists were enjoying it, but also the locals, that it just had a vibrancy to it. So as we were just kind of going up the mountain, I just loved seeing all the graffiti. And sometimes we look at our U.S. minimalist buildings and you think, man, this is just kind of boring. So it was nice
they have
to
a bunch of cathedrals over there.
Yes.
The cathedrals are gorgeous. And as far as landscape goes, for those who don't know, Colombia, I mean, you got a little bit of everything. You got mountains, you got lakes, you got rivers, you got volcanoes, whatever. And so it's and then you, in the dead smack middle of all that stuff, you have the city and stuff, and so it's just gorgeous.
Yeah, our Rich Rose campus, we're at a Kmart. Yeah, so it was nice to go over there and just see. Like you said, the cathedrals and all just the. It's just eclecticness of it. So what about you? What was your favorite part?
I mean, I gotta say, it's the food, bro. It's the food.
It's the clean.
Yeah. What? So I and Mason can attest to this. I was trying everything, and that's one of the that's one. I mean, putting the awesome spiritual side of missions aside, one of the awesome things that you get to experience whenever you go on mission trips is the culture and the food and just kind of being in a completely different part of the world. And so that's one of the awesome perks of just being able to be overseas. And I was the type of person that was like, man, I'm gonna try it all. Give me that, give me double. It's let me try this, let me try that, and so let me try all the snacks and little things. And so that's my favorite part. But I know that was probably one of your least favorite parts.
No. Well, I did like the steak the most.
Yeah.
We went to this really
What was your least favorite thing that you had over there?
Probably.
Or what was the weirdest thing?
The weirdest thing was that rice milk. It was fermented rice milk thing that we weren't supposed to. Well, really, we weren't supposed to drink anything over there unless it came out of a can or a bottle. And Byron was he was the police, just making sure that we were taken care of and weren't having any stomach issues.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want overseas. Just a bit of the bubble guts overseas.
Stronger than the juice. Stronger than the milk, dude. We actually had no stomach issues.
No, none.
You were a great guide, dude. Byron, if you go on a mission trip, bring this guy with you. We would have been lost with me. I hated people would look at me, especially the locals of Bogota. They try to speak Spanish and we're trying to haggle some of the touristy merchandise. I was like, I don't know, I got some pesos and I can just give it to you. But no, you were just you were on it, bro.
It's the perks of knowing the language, but sometimes that won't carry you through also every place that you go, and you just got to be able to rely on the Lord and just say, hey, He's going to fight those battles.
Amen. I do want to highlight probably my favorite part of Bogota. If there was a moment, I'm going to set the spiritual aside, where Byron had to go up there at a local church and sing praise with Maddie and Abby, and he's representing Sugar Creek well, because we're a part of this service. He's leading it. He's got the people just juiced up, man. We're just raising our hands.
Come on, Jesus.
Well, at about halfway through, this local drummer ends up coming behind him and starts playing the drums in the middle of Byron's song. And tell us just a little bit about what's going through your head right here.
Yeah, this drummer just comes out of nowhere and he just does. Yeah, I'm in the middle of the song. He just it starts playing the drums, and I'm like, in my head, what I'm thinking, I was like, did it suck that much that they decided that let's save him, let's give him a little support, or man, I'm just feeling it so much, I just need to express myself, that I'm just gonna be out here just worshiping alongside him. And I had no idea how to interpret that. Also, because it was also towards the end of the song, so I was like, What are we doing here?
And this was after already.
Yeah.
I promise you about a 45-minute worship set already. This was at the this drummer had been going for a long time, and I just loved kind of almost seeing Byron just really get caught off guard.
Yeah. There was another also funny moment that happened at the church that day, and that was with you, because we were in the middle of, I think it was the sermon, and we just get somebody to come tap on our shoulders, and he's like, hey, Mason, your dad is outside?
Bro.
And then Mason's he looks at me, he's like, bro, my dad is dead.
Yeah. Dude, my dad passed away like 10 years ago. And I tell you, it's a top 5 moment in my life. I've been confused. I had this just little like Hispanic girl just like tap me on my shoulder and be like, your dad's outside. I'm like, is this a dream or a vision or what is going on right now?
Jesus bringing back the dead?
Yes!
Like, what's going on?
So I'm just shocked. I walk outside and I'm kind of looking around and I see old Josh White, which is Campbell's dad, outside. He meant that he just saw another white man.
Yeah.
Or she just saw this white man and saw me and was like, hey, your dad's outside? And I was like, oh, okay, we got beards and we're white. Okay, we look about the same. Okay, come on in, Dad. So, yeah, Josh got to come and join us and worship with us that morning. But, yes, I had completely forgot about one of the creepiest moments where I'm like, am I going to see my dad?
We had no idea what to expect. We both stepped out because I was like, am I going to need to translate? Like what's happening?
Well, we've kind of talked about some of the missions parts that we really enjoyed that maybe weren't so spiritual, but what would you say? What did you enjoy just like from being with students, being a leader? Where did you really see God move?
Man, I think one of the things that happens whenever you go on a mission trip or whenever people are deciding to go on a mission trip is like you tend to doubt yourself. You tend to say like, am I ready for this? Like, do I have a strong enough story? Do I have a strong enough, relationship with the Lord? Am I comfortable enough to step outside of my comfort zone and stuff like that? And sometimes you tend to overthink and get in your head. And it was so cool just seeing the way God was using the testimonies individually of each and every single one of our students to minister to the people of Colombia. And because there are certain things that are just universal, guys. Like, and that is happiness is universal, but also sadness and frustrations and struggles and sin. That's all universal as well. And so the same stuff that we're dealing with over here are also the same things that they're dealing with back home. And so getting a chance to see our students share their testimonies and open up to the community and say like, man, I'm struggling with this. And then them being like, oh, I didn't know you struggled with this because I'm struggling with the same thing. And then them being able to minister to them through that and guide them, and then asking the questions of how do I get out of this kind of hole? How do I fix this? How do I grow closer to the Lord? Like seeing kind of some of those conversations happen, I was like, man, God, you're just showing up in such a cool way. Yeah. How about you? What was your yay God moment? What was the way that you saw God kind of show up throughout the trip?
Yeah, this was like every time I do a mission trip, I'm always just culture shocked in a sense of just to see how they live and how they express themselves. And that very first Sunday, we go out and we're evangelizing in just kind of the downtown area. And they evangelize by their passing out candy, giving out free hugs. Like, they are literally hugging strangers.
They have signs with that said, free hugs.
And people, Byron, can I just tell you, I was shocked the amount of people who just were like, I want a free hug. Like, you try to give me a free hug. Yeah. You getting 5 fingers.
Total different, just atmosphere in general. Like, we were joking, we're like, if we were here, you'd get sued for that.
Sued?
Yeah, immediately. Canceled.
Yes, that's an assault.
Yeah.
Assault.
Was it consensual? Like they were walking up to people, or they just were like standing there?
No. Like we were just walking around with signs that said free hugs, and then people would just come up and be like, "Yeah, why not?" And then from there, they would just kind of have conversations of like, "Hey, do you have any prayer requests?" Like.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, and
it worked.
Yeah, people were like, I'm dealing with this at home, or I've got this going on with my family. And people were so receptive to just having this expression of love, like really just geared towards them. Yeah. And it was just really special reminder of kind of just what you were even echoing. He's like, man, what's universal is like people just want to be loved.
For sure.
They just want to be that they're known and that they're seen and that they're cared for. And it was just a good reminder for us as Americans in a very individualistic world, just like, man, when's the last time I talked to my neighbor? Yeah. When's the last time I really just kind of invested in my neighborhood and just checked in on somebody and said, how are you doing? Especially for students, we kind of have a tendency to, we've got our friend group, the people that we sit beside, and we know that it's really comfortable to talk to. But it was just amazing that these believers would go out of their way to just simply love strangers. And then there was just this like immediate connection, just say like, hey, we're right down the road. If you ever want to come to church, if you ever just like want a meal, we would love to just hang out with you and do life.
Yeah, and I think it's a perfect reminder of what our mission statement actually looks like, in loving and leading all people and just really coming together as one body of Christ and one big community and just saying, hey, we're all going to love each other, we're all going to hang out, we're all going to have fun. And then with that, to your point too, that's one of the things that I think a lot of our students walked out feeling impacted by, them seeing the community and the joy, even with like not having as many luxuries as we do here, but them just saying like, no, like this is great, this is awesome. And for sure.
So, and even Byron, I know there's some students probably watching this who have maybe been on a local mission trip or even international, but probably more than not people who have not gone overseas. Or they may even say, an international mission trip to get on a plane flight that's like 15 hours away or whatever it may be, or 5. Like there's probably some people who are pretty cautious about, man, are they ready for it? Do you think that's something that I can even take on? Like, what's your advice to anybody watching this who has never gone on a mission trip?
Well, I think that's good. And one, I think, is don't overthink it. It's like, I think James 2 is super clear that, like, we not only need to have faith, but we need to match that up with works. Like we need to put that into action. And that starts not only right where you are, but also I think there's a part of that is like stepping outside of your comfort zone and trusting God through the process, knowing that he's going to equip you and give you the tools necessary in order to kind of go and carry out the mission and the great commission that he's given us and that he's entrusted us, because that's our call. And so, like I was saying, I think oftentimes people just tend to overthink right where they are and just tend to say, hey, I don't think I'm ready and stuff. But sometimes the Lord opens up those doors and opens up those opportunities for you to step through them. That's kind of how it was for me with my first mission trip. I got a chance to go on my first international mission trip at the age of 17 to Japan. And that kind of happened by accident because I didn't originally sign up for the trip. There was a person that dropped, and then
wow, look at you, God.
And then my worship leader at the time said, hey, we're still looking for a person. Do you want to go? And at that point, I had never considered going on a mission trip until he said, hey, I think you're ready and I think you should do this. And that was kind of the moment that I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, let's try it. And so, but that was the point that I needed to kind of push me outside of my comfort zone. And so I think sometimes it's also just talking to your leaders and seeing kind of what doors and opportunities are there. But what has been the biggest thing that God has taught you through a mission trip?
I think when I was like in high school going on mission trips, everybody that was in my youth group would go over there and be like, we're going to change the world for God. Like, yes. Oh, Jesus. We're going to save the country like for the gospel, the good news. Yeah. Go USA. Yeah. And then but you'd go over there. Like I've been to Costa Rica. I've been to London. I've even just done like stateside mission trips. And
how many have you done? Like what countries have you been to?
Japan. I went to Japan, Costa Rica. Like I said, I spent some time in like Paris, London, did that for a while, but I've done local in New York.
Nice.
Louisiana, they need it.
Hey, it's a great reminder too, though, that like your mission field is also where you are. It's locally too, and so it doesn't. You don't have to go internationally to do mission trips. Amen. Although it's fun, and although you should sign up for the next batch of mission trips that we do, but like you can also start in your community. You can start in your school. You can start where you are and start sharing and just start living out your faith, and also letting God shine through you and wherever you are. So
yes. So like everywhere I've gone, especially when I was younger, it's like we're gonna go and we're gonna change the world, and like all those things are true. But like as I've gotten older, I realized like, man, God's already working. Yeah. Like he is working in these churches and in these believers, and the Holy Spirit's moving. And so it's less about, man, what can I do for them? Yeah. And it's just like, man, how can I support them? Like, because God's moving, he's working, and just like to even go in there to experience the goodness of God and the bigness and the vastness that he can do all this without us. Yeah. But he allows us to be a part of his plan. He allows us to enter in with other believers all the way around the globe. Yeah. and to just be like, wow, God, you were so much bigger than just Rosenberg, Texas, or Sugar Land, Texas. And I'm always just inspired by hearing the testimony of other believers and what they've experienced through the goodness of God. So it always takes me outside of my little bubble. It expands me to see the vastness of him, and it just encourages me every single time. I come back a stronger believer. I'm like, man, God, you doing that there? Yeah. You're doing it here. Let's keep pursuing the great commandment.
Absolutely, and I think that's one of the things you learn, you learn through these mission trips, right? It's like you, just like we were talking about how like happiness and sadness is universal. Like one of the very real things you get to experience through these trips is realizing and witnessing how God is universal as well. And how like it doesn't matter if you don't speak the same language, you're worshiping the same God, you are, and you're singing the same things just in different tongues. And it just gives you a glimpse of what that heaven image looks like. And then it makes you realize just how much like if you're just relying on God, he's just going to carry you through it because he's just that awesome and that universal. So
yes, man. And we've even just through this Bogota mission trip, our students loved it.
Yeah.
They had a great time.
Oh, man.
They're already saying, all of us back next year, we're going to more schools. Like, you're just like, whoa, we're going to
change the world.
So we please hear us right now. Hear our hearts, especially as leaders. We love doing it. But talk to some of those students who went on the mission trips as well. And you just said it best. It's not just about going overseas or going to another state. Yeah. It's about, man, the Great Commission is for all people at all times, no matter where we're at. And so that's always so encouraging to hear. But man, it really helps when you go out and you get to do some ministry with Mr. Clean and just, man.
And Jesus.
So
sign up, like if you want to do a mission trip, you could sign up, go with Jesus and Mr. Clean overseas. I mean, like, hey.
Bogota 2026,
sounds like
man.
fun to me, man. Sounds like fun.
Well, man, we're so excited. We're going to be leading that trip again next year.
Yeah.
But man, Byron, can you tell them, man, where can they find us? What social media, if they want to follow along, if they want to ask questions? Can you just give them a little bit of follow-up information?
Yeah, I mean, as always, stay connected with everything that we're doing. I mean, come to Sunday services. I mean, that's really the place, the hub that you want to be a part of.
Yes.
Again, that's where your community's going to be, and that's going to be a place for you to not only be in connect groups, but also just be able to grow in your faith. And that's the best way for you to stay connected with when those applications go live. But follow us on social media, and of course, if you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and then you will also
Road to 1 million.
Yeah, Road to 1 million. Yeah. The song.
Studio Season 4, we're having a gold-plated YouTube plaque right there.
Yep. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Yeah.
We'll make one if not.
If Jesus is saying it's going to happen and Mr. Clean is also echoing it, it's going to be there.
Well, guys, we love you. We look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank y'all so much.